Good morning, Year 4, and welcome to your penultimate, which means one before last, literacy lesson of our home learning. We hope. We are fairly confident you will all be here next week, so we're very much looking forward to seeing you. And yes, this is our penultimate lesson. So we are looking at our 3 final prefixes that you need to understand for Year 4. So, last lesson we looked at auto, which meant self, or by itself. We looked at re, which meant again, and we looked at anti, which meant against. And we have 3 more today. The first one for today is sub. Now, sub means under. So here are some examples of words we can put sub with. These 2 words mean the same thing. Heading and title. Both a heading and a title come at the top of a text to tell you what a text is about. They are the main heading and the main title. Now, we have all heard our teachers rabbit on and on and on about don't forget your subtitles or don't forget your subheadings when we have been writing information texts in school. And here, sub means under. So underneath the main title or the big title, we have smaller titles or smaller headings which come underneath, which tell us not what the whole text is about, but what a paragraph of information is about. So they are titles or headings that come under the main heading. Here we have standard, okay? The standard of something is how well it has been done or how well it has been produced. For example, when you do a piece of writing, we expect you to produce a piece of writing at Year 4 standard. However, if you have not tried your best with your piece of writing, it may be that your piece of writing is substandard or under the standard that we would expect for a Year 4 piece of writing. And finally, marine. The root word marine is to do with the sea. And we all know that a submarine is a ship that goes underneath the sea. So we can see how sub here means under. So my sentence is cruising under the water, comma, the submarine's driver, with an apostrophe S for submarine's driver, the submarine's driver spotted a swordfish swimming, and then it would be good to have an adverb that started with S on the end. So what could we have? Swimming swiftly. Swiftly means the same as quickly. So I have put this in a sentence. I have also made my sentence exciting by starting with a subordinate clause and having an adverb and some alliteration. Okay, you are going to be expected to do the same at the end of this lesson. In fact, Year 4, can you pause your video now and can you choose a different word and can you write a sentence for it? Or you can choose submarine, but could you then write a different sentence for it? Off you go. Well done. We will look forward to reading your sentences. Right, our next prefix is inter. And inter means between 2 things. So, here are some examples. And sport is a really good way to help us think about the prefix inter. If you have an inter-school football match. That means a football match between two schools. So if BIS and BVIS Hanoi played each other at football, that would be an inter-school football match, a football match between schools. If Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh played each other at badminton, that would be an inter-city badminton match because it would be a match between two cities. And if two countries were to play each other at netball, so if Hanoi and Australia, no, Hanoi isn't a country, I'm very sorry, Year 4s. If Vietnam and Australia played each other at netball, that would be an international netball match. It would be a netball match between the nations of Vietnam and Australia. There is one more example on here which is not related to sport, but generational. Generations are related to age. So people of the same age are said to be of the same generation. So you are of one generation, then your parents are of the next generation up, and then your grandparents are of the next generation up. Eventually, when you all have children, those children will be the next generation. So if you have an intergenerational household, that means a household that lots of different generations live in. There are relationships between the generations in the same household. But sport is a good way to help you think of this. Okay? So, my sentence for this one is BIS Hanoi had an outstanding victory at the inter-school badminton competition. Okay, can you pause the video now and can you please choose one of these words to write a sentence with the prefix inter in there. Off you go, please, Year 4. Okay, well done. And our final prefix, one that we should all be familiar with, is super. So super means above or more than. More than. Okay, so a superstar. If you have a star or a celebrity, that is one thing, but a superstar is somebody who the whole world knows. Okay, so more than a normal star. Superman is a man who is able to do more than a normal man, or who is above a normal man. Superman. And this is linked to superhero. So we get the word superhero. Super means more than, special abilities. And finally, supermarket. Now we all know this word, but in actual fact, supermarkets have not been around for a really long time. In the past, there were just small markets. Those still exist. You can go down to the market at the end of your road. However, I believe it was in the 1960s, supermarkets were invented, which were really big markets that you could go to buy everything or anything that you might want. And super means above or more than. So these markets had more than a small market had in there. So My sentence for super is in the nick of time, comma, which means just in time. In the nick of time, comma, the superhero swooped in to save the day. Exclamation mark. Lovely. So we've got a range of punctuation in there. Okay, Year 4, can you please pause your video and can you write a sentence for one of our super words, please? Off you go. Okay, well done, Year 4. Now, on to your activity. You need to complete the worksheets based on these prefixes. If you don't know what a word means, use the Children's Dictionary to look it up. Remember, sub means under, inter means between, super means more than. That is your first activity. Your second activity is to choose 2 words for each prefix. There will be more examples of words on the worksheets. Then use them in sentences, just like we have done on the board. So everybody should have a total of 6 sentences. So you should do the worksheets, then you should write 6 sentences. We will look forward to reading your sentences. Goodbye, Year 4.